crepes. Oh, that'd be morbid. That'd be terrible. And then he just waited until they left the restaurant until he just went in to get something. I mean, look, yes. Just by himself, sad, like eating crepes, like he was here. I can still smell him.
Gojo's voice is stuck in the infinite void.
It's pretty interactive, so I have this really cool wheel where I spin, and then it's going to either land on show, specific question, random questions, and then ask the audience. So ask the audience, y'all can line up behind this mic that's in the center aisle.
It won't work.
Hopefully it will work. But yes, so we're just going to spin the wheel for the whole thing, and then we'll see what everything lands.
Oh, you're spinning it now. Right. Make Kaiji do a backflip. Cool!
Oh, this is actually cool. So,
I guess so.
Off with the audience questions. The guests are going to ask you a question first, and then you get to ask your question. Oh yes, Anya, go.
Do we all get to ask questions?
No, just one.
Just one?
Yeah.
How many sides ourselves? Let's do it. Yeah, I'll ask the first one. Okay, my question for you is, well, first of all, this doesn't count as my question, but I need to know, what's your name? Audrey? Okay, Audrey. Have you ever taken, and it can be like one trial class, have you ever done any martial arts?
Yes, I have.
And what was it? Karate, perfect. All right, the rest of the panel, we're gonna fight. It's interactive.
Be careful, that is like.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's like the top tier fan experience.
Yes.
Okay, it's your turn. Audrey.
It's your turn.
Okay, so out of like, not the main trio, but out of like all the characters in general, who's your personal favorite that's not your character? Just in general, like ever. Like ever. Like I've met anything.
Shoot. No, that's good.
I love to make characters.
Mine is Ashley. Godzilla. And Kaiji Tang. Three favorites. Three favorite characters.
I know. I was like, I had Nani on the tip of my tongue already. Just do like one that's your voice.
Woo!
My very first Disney movie that I ever saw was The Little Mermaid, and Ariel just holds such a special place in my heart. I really wanted to be a mermaid, you guys. I think I can still make it happen.
You can do it. You can do it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you guys.
Thanks, Audrey. See you.
All do you quiz multiple characters over multiple shows, but what makes working on JJK special to you?
Sometimes characters, there's a lot that makes the show special. For me personally, you know, I got to make a bunch of new friends for the show. That's been really, really lovely. Getting to play cards with these guys, getting to be in the same Pokemon Go chat with everyone, you know, that's been really lovely. I mean, I think that for me is the best thing that's happened to me on the show itself.
Of like all the friends you made, who would you say?
Oh, you want to hear this, right? Let me think about that for a second.
I think that is also my answer, but in addition to that, I think JJK is a special, like, little dinosaur, or
Special little dinosaur like that. It's like a little velociraptor.
yeah, it's in that it's a show that I enjoy hosting on, but it's also a property that I really enjoy reading. You know what I mean? As voice actors, you know, we like to, you know, have prepared our material and stuff, and if we have a chance to like get to know like what's going on before we walk into the booth, but with JJK, like I read the manga like graciously, I read it so fast. I was on my seat every week looking for what was coming next. Like if I wasn't in JJK, I would also still be a mega fan of JJK, and that's kind of rare. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's like,
Might need to. Hey.
Thank you. My voice is still going. Dave. For me, it's kind of the same thing that these two said. And in addition to that, it's also like, you know, when you're working as a voice actor, a lot of times you know, you boil it down to it's like we're doing cartoons, right? But we're also actors. We're all like classically trained actors. We've done theater, TV and film, all this kind of stuff. And I would say that there aren't many shows that you get to do that require the level of acting that JJK requires. Like season 2 was straight up trauma for me. I was crying in the club. In the club, we're all crying.
We were there in the club watching.
You know? It was rough, but also like all I can be is grateful for that experience because it was such an amazing like those things don't get done very often in cartoons. So the fact that I, as an actor, get to still stretch those muscles and do that while I'm doing anime is like such a cool thing. So yeah, it's just been all around amazing. I can turn it on. Again, don't be sorry.
Oh my god!
Thank you so much.
so someone hop on up there.
You were ready. How do you feel about the dojo look-alike contest that was
There was a Gojo look-alike contest that was held.
Okay. First of all, can I just say, wow, this is amazing. Whoever's organizing this stuff, tell us.
Yeah, I mean, you know, for Gojo specifically, I know there's that very famous line saying, are you the strongest because you're Sasha Gojo, or Sasha Gojo because you're the strongest, or possibly that is reverse now. So I feel like the manga, oh wait, no spoilers.
No spoilers.
It's very difficult to answer that question with him in context without doing spoilers. But I feel like truly the greatest villain of the series is Yatco himself. For Gojo, I like to think in my heart that he, throughout the series, proves that he is the strongest because he's who he is as a person, right? Not because of the powers he brings into it. You know, he spends so much time loving these kids, and he's spending all his efforts raising this next generation to really, not only to fulfill his dreams, but to make the world a better place. And in that way, I really do feel like, you know, he is the strongest, not just because of his power set, you know. It's because of who he cares for, what he cares for, and what he truly desires for the future. So.
Well, I think also like someone with his power and ability could easily be a villain.
Oh,
You can have
and we can hear it close.
So the fact that he's not is kind of like that's kind of answers this question too. It's like, but I think, and it isn't like all credit to Gato. What makes a good villain is when there's moments of humanity in the villain, where as an audience we're watching this villain and we're like, God, this sucks. Like, dang, he's kind of making a good point, right? And all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute. And then ultimately, like, they continue on their path, and you're like, oh, that's what makes them a villain, is they're not, they have no ability to change. But, you know, from an acting standpoint, whenever we get cast, it doesn't happen to me, I only get cast as good boys for some reason. But whenever we get cast as villains, or whenever like a bad character comes up, you know, your job as an actor is to find the humanity, not to go act like you're a bad guy. No villain thinks they're a bad guy. They think they just have their own, you know, they're just aiming for the wrong target. Yeah, actually, I'm talking about like, is Gojo the strongest because he's, you know, that whole thing. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I ask a question? Yeah. And then I want to hear maybe what you guys think about this too. Okay. If Gojo punched himself in the face and it hurt, does that mean he's really weak or he's really strong?
That's
Think about it.
that is very philosophical.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Does it make him weak or does it make him strong?
How far is it pushing himself?
No, enough for it to hurt. If Gojo punched himself in the face and it hurt,
I think the answer would be yes, right?
alright, spread the
Yes,
spread the Don't confuse hierarchy and geography.
Okay, so this is a whole thing we're gonna review. So there's this website called Behind the Movies Actors, and
Yeah, they use.
Oh, they're gonna
They use other photos. They use other photos, and they also don't put all your credits. That's true.
so there's this poll of your top 5 characters. So we're gonna see if the audience agrees with this poll, and then Adam's gonna give his thoughts about the poll. So right now we have Kaiji Tang at the top, who all agrees. Then we have Marco as second, who agrees. Then we have in third place, who agrees.
It's okay, Tokyo Revengers is coming back.
And we have Lee in fourth place, who agrees.
That's Star Wars Clone Wars in case you haven't really heard.
I knew. And then Trumpet, who
Horrible. Horrible character, villain, didn't like it. I did it once, and it was because I didn't know it, but I did it. I did it.
I did like that. I think it's something.
Yeah.
Use that wins.
I'm gonna tell you guys, you know, the JJK is obviously very popular. The Star Wars and Force of People fandom is also very, they are still very prevalent. But I think I know a character that's not on this list that might be everyone's favorite, even more so than this. Have you guys ever watched Disney XD? Like anything on Disney XD? So, when you go to commercials,
song from Star versus the Forces of Evil, and that was our main dance song, you know, our wedding dance song.
It wasn't the blood involved. You know what's even crazier is they didn't invite me to the wedding.
Redo it.
Think it's gonna stop an audience? Oh no, it's not. Okay. Fight Kaiji. Oh, random. Pineapples on pizza frequently in your character.
Yes. Yes. I don't know where this argument came from. Like,
It's like the summer dog.
right. I'm sorry, Gordon Ramsay's incorrect. He's just not right. Like, it is fantastic. Like, salty sweet, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. In the imaging panel, the other time was like very, like no.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure Mahito hates his comment.
Yeah, I tell you pizza.
Yeah, Mahito hates pizza. We have deep trauma with Mahito.
Yeah, we'll fight him. I'm gonna fight him.
Where are we stopping? Okay, you all have gone to con the first time.
As for just random fandoms, I'm a giant MTG player. Imagine me having a player as these folks know. Yeah, let's go.
KG got us into it.
Yeah, I needed someone to play cards with on the road, so it's like, you know.
Yeah, he bought us decks that weren't quite as good as his.
You need something to start off, you know?
That's when, like, you say, like, thank you.
This is my favorite question actually. Who is more unhinged, Teenage Gojo Akito or Adult Gojo Akito?
It's, well, there's a certain amount of genocide on one end, right? So it's a little unhinged. Yeah. So I feel like on that spectrum, maybe the adult, you know? I feel like the math is in that column, you know what I mean? Like, the teenagers are like, oh yeah, they want funny while drinking their juice.
Yeah, when they're teenagers, it's like, I'm just gonna take an emo shower.
Yeah. Right, it's not that bad, you know? Like,
Mental health is deteriorating.
we should laugh at that. That's very
He's not real.
So I kind of have like a two-part question. So y'all go to a lot of conventions, and what was it like the first time you walked in and saw people dressed as your characters? And then on top of that, what's the weirdest thing that someone dressed as your characters has asked y'all to say or do?
How did you beat anybody?
Well, okay, so to answer the first part of that question, and I'll think about that. The first time I saw people come to my table dressed as Nomura, I was like, inside, I was like crying. I was like, this is so cool to see, like, her, like, in real life, in this, like, little body. And it's still just, I get a kick out of it every time.
Yeah, it's a heck of a thing to experience, you know. Like, I remember the very first time I sort of experienced that was for Archer, Fates Day Night, right? That was one of my first bigger roles that I had. And to see a bunch of archers walking across and people like coming in to talk to me, that was incredible. But it also led to, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this character, he has a chant, all right, the Unlimited Blade Works chant. It's awesome, but it's very long, right? So that first year, I memorized it very quickly through necessity. Because people will walk up and be like, could you do the chant? The whole thing, you're like, yeah. They all sound like that. Yeah, so now I'll never not have it memorized, you know. I've gone through it so many times in my brain. I can write it down for you in like, you know, like a minute straight at this point.
Yeah, it's so cool, obviously, like I said, seeing people come up with your character's cosplay. I myself am very judgmental, so when I see like sewed lines that are misaligned and hair that's not in the right spot, I'm just being super judgmental. That's not true.
You should see it when Mahito cosplayers go up to his table.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You're not allowed to do that.
Incredible.
Yeah, I will literally tell you you suck. And
One time a Mojito cosplayer came to my table. Was this Raleigh? And no, Richmond. And they brought the Mojito cup, and they asked me if I would sign. They asked if they could buy us a picture. And my friend Stormy was like, no. And I was like, no, we'll sign it. And then they didn't want to quote, but then I looked at them and I was like, I'm gonna give you. I was like, you get a free quote, and I wrote the B word on it.
Yeah, it's funny, like things that people ask us to say. Like it's always, I would say, pretty well contained in the show, or like some variation. But something that happens to me pretty regularly is, someone will come up and be like, hey, like I want to get a print for my mom. Her name's Donna. Can you write like a tall woman with a nice big ass? This is for your mom. Merry Christmas, Mom.
Yeah, it's like sometimes I get families asking for prints for their kids, and they're like, "Did you write Daddy's home?" And I'm like, and they don't understand the context. They're like, "Yeah, they requested Daddy's home." Like the kid didn't tell the parents, like, "You need Daddy's home."
Kid went to school that day, that third grader, and told everyone that JoJo is his dad. I didn't have a dad. It's good.
I can just see that happening, actually. Oh my god. Okay, it's Kaiji's turn for his
Oh God, please don't. There it is.
Hey, yo.
There you go. It's actually, see, it's not. Gojo's actually third. Oh, wait, still. Hey, let's go.
Yeah, so who agrees that Owen is number one?
Let's go.
What about Zai? Anyone got your And then of course Gojo. And then Archer. I used to binge that when I was really late to Kobe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did. There's so many episodes, I was like, I want to.
It's a lot.
And then Ichiban. Who's got
Ichiban, Yakuza.
Alright, Kaiji, what are your opinions about the list?
My opinions? Look, I love Owen. He's got big theater kid energy, so I relate to him a lot. I remember he was like, I think he was my first favorite. Like when I first booked him in 2014, that was supposed to be the very last Fire Emblem Guys Awakening. That game saved the entire franchise. It sold so well.
Because of you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I personally saved Fire Emblem. Thank you so much.
Put that on
Yeah, whoever's recording, Kaiji Tang, I personally have saved Fire Emblem.
Yeah, American voice actor.
Saved Fire Emblem. You're welcome, Nintendo.
Okay, so show us the question. We know since from the beginning that once he eats all of the fingers, he usually has to be flatlined.
Wow, thanks for putting that so gracefully.
I don't want to be murdered, but what are your personal feelings about this, and do you think it will actually happen?
I mean,
Yeah, no big reason, quiet.
yeah, no, we're gonna answer this as if we've just finished season 2.
Yeah.
Here's what I think. I think Yuji is the exception. Yuji is different. There's a reason that he's the vessel. And I think that we've seen time and time again him be resilient beyond normal human capacity for someone who's 15 years old and who has just entered Jujutsu Society. So I think that if anyone can find a way to consume all the fingers and keep Sukuna at bay and not be killed, that I would be Yuji. That's my take. Also, don't kill my just gonna have a print on my table of dead.
Honestly, like if we are answering this just as if we had just finished season 2, with the way Katie Akutami writes, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that Yuji dies in season 3.
Right, yeah, exactly.
An incident taught you to not expect plot armor to be.
Yeah, that's not a thing in JJ. I mean, he's already killed you once.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, by the way, imagine the first anime ever, 4 episodes in, I get murdered, and I'm like, well, that was fair.
What villain do you think has the potential to be turned into a sorcerer and vice versa? A sorcerer can be turned into a villain. I know we can already say Gojo. But
Yeah, Gojo would have had a really tremendous filter, and it would have been right at the end of the hidden inventory arc. Had Geto said even like one small thing wrong at that moment, that would have been the beginning of an incredible villain arc for Gojo. You know, he literally asked Geto, "Was like, should I heel turn?" Right? And Geto's like.
And conversely, if Gojo had just been like, hey, what's going on? You good?
Oh my god, right? Like if they just had a conversation. Oh.
Therapy would solve everything, you guys.
Oh, you know, something even similar to therapy is if Geto had just figured out that you could put condiments on the first balls, like Kenjaku figured out. There was that one scene, we see it over it like very quickly in the anime and in the manga where Kenjaku pours soy sauce on her first ball before he eats it. That's all it would have taken. A little bit of ketchup, a little bit of soy sauce, some nice mustard.
No more emo shower.
No more emo shower. We could have had it all.
I think the villain to turn sorcerer thing, I don't know if this is like, but you know, Choso. Choso was kind of
Yeah.
Oh. Junpei's dead,
Rest in peace, Junpei.
Junpei's dead, You know what? I'm sorry. This is from my boy. He should have just come to
Instead, he turned into
He
a
was
monk.
asked. He was invited.
let's go to some audience question. Yes. Audience question. What is your question?
Hi. So you know how in JJK0, Mimiko and Naiko really want Geto to take them to get the grapes? And I wonder what your opinion is. Do you feel like Gojo overheard this because he loves sweets and was following behind bushes waiting for them to leave to go try the grapes?
Just go try the grapes. That'd be more good. That'd be terrible. And then he just waited until they left the restaurant until he just went in to get something. I mean, look, yes. Just by himself, sad, eating grapes, he was here. I can still smell him.
Thank you. That was my question. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Ann and I didn't answer because we weren't in JJK0.
That's true. An experience I got to experience right next to me. So I was signing one day with Bryce Papenbrook, a fantastic person, right? And we were deep in our signings, and all of a sudden, all of us heard this. All right, and we're like, what was that? This girl who was getting her autograph signed by Bryce had fainted, and that sound was the sound of her feet hitting the underside of the table as she went down.
Why did she do that?
Why did she do that? I don't know. Maybe she liked fainting, you know? But yeah, at first we couldn't tell because we couldn't see her. She was below the table. And, we saw Bryce stand up and and then we saw her and we were like, oh my God, she fortunately had not hit her head. So it was okay, I think her head landed on her backpack or something like that. So excellent. Yeah, that was scary. That was the wildest thing.
That's nice. That's your favorite thing that's ever happened.
That's what I think about.
She's like, where are you?
I've only been doing this for a couple of years, and I just love getting to connect with the fans. I always treat this as, I really enjoy the work that I do. I love these characters that I put my time and energy into. And if someone comes to the table and says, once they love the work that I the product that I've created, that's so cool that we can share and expand them together. I love that. I love those moments. I still remember our very first convention together.
in this together. It's, you know, these conventions are microcosms of the world that we live in, so it's cool to come in here. And then you got rid of the question, what was the other part? Okay, crazy experience?
Crazy story.
So a group of college kids once brought me their air fryer to sell. So that was cool. They were all dressed as the baseball episode characters, but they were one friend short, so they got their air fryer and they printed out a picture of McArthur and pasted it on the front.
That's very independent from your work.
Yeah, it was awesome. That's totally my top tier fan.
Very awkward. Industry question. What was the audition process like in this particular show?
I know for me, Nora was the only female character being auditioned at the time. She's really the only female main character that was me up until like episode 6 or 7. So that was the one we were really playing. So I remember watching the first 3 episodes because they got me on picture and like, dang, this shit is fun. This one's awesome. I really hope I can book it. And then I forgot to do the audition until the day it was due. So I was like rushing to do it at like 3 in the afternoon.
I would say don't do that, but do that.
Yeah, I don't know what I do, but it works.
Yeah.
It gave me that passion.
It really did.
Yeah, I had no idea what JJK was when I got the audition. I know the episodes were available, I just wasn't aware of it, right? So, like, you know, I got this audition in my mailbox, I was like, oh man, this guy, is this reverse Kakashi? What is this? So, you know, I almost skipped it, actually, because I was in the middle of, like, this big fighting game week and war week, so I was doing, like, I think I was doing a Call of Duty game, like 2 fighting games, so my voice was almost shot, and I was like, it's like my 4th audition of the day, I'm like, do I really want to do this reverse Kakashi guy? And of course, I'm very glad that I did it, but every time we tell the story, this whole nervous bitch is like, what do you mean you will stop doing a Gojo audition? So yeah, it was a studio that I had worked previously in Marvel's Gods. So they mentioned that, hey, you know, so you did this character first outside, and this character is a little similar to we thought maybe you like a crack at it. You know, I tried to audition for Nobara, and they didn't like me. Still, that haunts me to this day. Just like you said, you know, if you ever get sick,
Yeah, for me it was kind of interesting. Like, I historically hadn't really auditioned for anime. And in 2019, when Star Wars Force of Evil was ending, I was watching My Hero Academia. And I was like, man, this show is a lot of fun. And it seems like these voice actors are having a great time. Why haven't I ever auditioned for anime? And then I reached out to my agent and I was like, hey, why don't we do this? And he's like, oh, like, it's not really recorded in LA very often. There's not a lot of stuff for, you know, just like there's not a lot of stuff where an agency doesn't really do it. And I was like, well, okay, let me look into it. And maybe like 6 weeks to 2 months later, I had an audition for My Hero Academia. And it was like, the way they audition for that show is they just send you characters that were already cast and read for them. And then they will use whatever voice you did and kind of place them where they want it. And so I did a round of that audition. I didn't get anything. That's when Zeno Robinson talks. So that was like around that time. And then my second anime audition ever was for Jujutsu Kaisen. And the audition came in, and I knew Robbie prior to JJK, and he messaged me. He's like, hey, I heard you were doing the audition for anime. Did you get this audition? I was like, yeah. And he's like, this is going to be a good one. I was like, okay, cool. But again, I'm an actor for a long time. And when people say things like that, the best thing you can do is not get hyped, because you can hear it in your audition. You just got to do the work and forget the audition once you start it. But I got my audition. I read for Gojo. I read for Suguru. I read for Megami, and I read for Kaiji. And yeah, it was like a week later after I auditioned, I got the call. I was on my way to a camping trip, and everyone else in the car was asleep. Well, except the driver. They got me. And I got the call, and I was so excited, but I couldn't do it. So I was like,
We're just stupid.
I rolled down the window, just held my head up. So Yes, Yuji is such a good boy, and all the trauma that he goes through in season 2 is just tragic. And I've never had a character where, when a season ended, I was like, oh, I understand why some actors need a break from acting a certain character. Like, it was a really hard last, maybe like 7 or 8 episodes of season 2 where I would have to go into the studio already in a weird mental headspace, because when we're recording, it's not like, the director's not like, all right, Adam, this scene is going to be really hard, so we need you to take about 20 minutes and get into a headspace. Like, no, it's no time. It's like, hey, how's it going? Come on in. Are you ready to go? All right. They show you what the scene is, and then you start at a certain point and you start saying lines. So, like, for all the Shibuya stuff where Yuji's, riding on the floor in the fetal position at Toto's feet, if I'm throwing that in and we're not already prepared when we walk into the studio to be in that kind of headspace, it's going to sound totally fake. And we've all heard those scenes in different shows throughout the years where you're like, that's why I think people say, like, oh, Doug doesn't have emotion or whatever. Screw that, JJ doesn't have emotion. But yeah, it's hard to go through that, but it's our job. It's part of the fun. So.
I think all of us really relate to our characters. I mean, as an actor, whenever you have a character, you have to be able to relate to something. Even if you are playing like Sam or you have to connect something between you and that person so that you can believe what you portray.
Yeah, but I love Steelers.
I'm a super carpenter, you guys. No, but I really do relate a lot to her. She's just a girl who's very angry.
We do carry around hammers, it's true. I joke sometimes about how I very much relate to, or want to relate to, the fact that Gojo is like super rich, and that'd be great, I think, But I really thought about this question a lot, and they're actually on the surface level, me and Gojo are actually not that very, very similar, right? Like, he's extremely extroverted, I am not. I'm really introverted, but he really likes sweets, and I'm not like a dessert guy, right? So I'm like, this guy's gonna get a crap me. I don't know if, the infinity thing is gonna protect you from, going to the dentist. But one thing I can relate to is his sense of humor and his love of his friends and the people closest to him, the kids that he's raising. I think that's very, very sweet. So I try to hone in on those aspects of Gojo and I'm voicing him.
And how good he is at trolling people.
Yeah.
That's character assassination, you guys. I've never trolled a single day in my life. I don't know. I've been a perfect angel my entire existence. Never even lied to a single time.
Marcy, go ahead and stand up. This is Cage's life.
You don't have to listen to her. You don't have to listen to her. That's why you get quiet. She's gaslighting you right now.
Also, such a power couple, these two, by the way. Marcy travels with us all the time, and she's an amazing voice actor. And just one of my favorite people. So, if you see Marcy out in the wild, take a picture with Marcy.
Yeah, she is a charming student.
Love you.
Well, turn to the wheel at the same time. We're like, I'm the wheel.
Oh, this is interesting. Which sorcerer do you think would have the easiest time using their jujutsu for an everyday type of job?
I guess it depends on the job.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much you can get away with punching.
Well, whereas Carpenter,
And they land on it.
she's building houses forever. She's solving homelessness.
I think Boogie has like a great utilitarian, like general utility that can work across any job. Even information you could trade off with another computer really quick and do things. A spy, construction even, right?
A barista?
A boogie barista. Right? Coffee made in 0.2 seconds, right?
Yeah, that's our answers for that question.
Maybe toes for plastic surgery. Anyone?
No. That's actually hilarious. But Panda would just be a man. His job is to just be in the suit.
In JJK or in Jujutsu Kaisen?
Next question.
Either JJK or whatever.
No. I mean, it is Mahito. He sucks.
But he's very well.
Yeah, he's such a good villain that we legitimately hate. You know, it's like a Joffrey thing from Game of Thrones, where it's like, ooh, that kid, he's so good.
I thought you meant the butler from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, yeah, him too. Honestly, I'm a big fan of Ursula from
Yes.
Mermaid. I think Ursula is fantastic as a villain. No, iconic, legendary.
Thank you.
Love this. It's like playing gotcha without having to invest resources.
What are your personal fandoms? And yes, I will count reality TV.
I have 2 guilty pleasure reality TV shows. Wait, do I have 3? I might have 3.
I know one.
What is it?
The challenge.
The Challenge.
The challenge.
So MTV has a show. Do you guys know The Challenge? Have you heard of The Challenge? I freaking love The Challenge. Okay, so imagine Survivor meets The Amazing Race. And that's kind of like the best way to describe it. It's like kind of meets Guts, if you know what that is. But it's like an adventure challenge show. It's on CBS and Paramount Plus, but it was on MTV. And back in the day, there was this show called Road Rules on MTV and this show called The Real World. And the challenge was kind of birthed out of those 2 shows. And they would take people that were on The Real World and they would put them in crazy challenges. So what I love about it is there are people who have been on this show for like 20 years. So I've been watching them since I was high school. And sometimes they're in a season, sometimes they're not. They'll be brought back the greatest of all time. But it's just such a fun, it's a show that I would want to be on. Because it's like, you gotta be smart, you gotta be athletic, and then you also gotta put up with like drama. And I would just.
Would you be an instigator?
Oh, Kaiji, with a smile on your face. And people would not know until they were watching that. They'd be like, that guy was a freaking wolf in sheep's clothing all the time. I truly believe, and I know, like, you know, we all watch these shows probably on TV and we're like, I would be something like this. I would absolutely shred. Okay, so the challenge is one of them. The other one is So You Think You Can Dance.
I love it.
I love it. I think in another life, I'm probably like a backup dancer for a woman or something.
It could still be this line item. It's not too late. It's not too late.
And then my third one is Below Deck, which is a Korean.
I love
Below Deck.
Below Deck is a good one. And I mean, there's plenty of other fandoms, but I'm just gonna stick with reality because I already said it.
I am a Jane Austen fan, and so like if there is a Jane Austen adaptation, I will watch the crap out of it. Personally, my favorite one is the BBC adaptation of Pride and Prejudice, starring Colin Firth.
Well,
You've seen it, you know. But no, I like Clueless. Actually, Clueless is the perfect Jane Austen adaptation of Emma. And if you haven't seen Clueless, please go see it. Please don't make me feel super old. It is. I think her writing is just so whip smart, and she perfected the rom-com genre before there was a rom-com genre. My husband also loves reality TV since we're talking about a lot of reality TV, and he watches one called Daring Sea Gold. And if you get him in the room, he will talk to you about it for like a solid hour. Like, he loves this show. These people are train wrecks. And it is so funny.
do they like go find gold?
Yeah, so apparently the Bering Sea, at the bottom of the Bering Sea, you can find like gold deposits. And so these people go on like down to the seafloor with like basically little vacuums, and they vacuum up the seafloor and then like
That's awesome.
for gold.
By the way, you need to know this about Anne's husband, Zach. He's an amazing guy. He's very, very smart. And so when he watches a show like this, you can guarantee that in the back of his mind, he's trying to figure out a way that he can go do it. So I know Zach is about to take a trip to the Bering Sea.
I'm down. We need something to do with the voiceover, you know? Why not grow a family at the bottom of the ocean?
I like Jade Mountain.
Jade Mountain.
Yeah, it's like in Utah. They like blow up mountains and find jade.
Let's be gem hunters.
Okay.
Let's do it.
That's
All right, guys.
We won't be back at our tables.
Yeah. To the bottom of the ocean. really quick, I'm just gonna tack on. I'm an easy sell for any cooking show. Like literally, it's such some of the most garbage television, but I love like Hell's Kitchen. I will watch any season of Hell's Kitchen, Top Chef, Chopped even. I will literally put on episodes of Chopped and just leave it in the background.